Struggling to engage your audience and drive more leads with your content? Do you ever wonder how to create content that addresses your customers' biggest questions and biggest pain points? Then this video is just what you've been looking for. I'm your HubSpot and inbound guy, George B. Thomas from Sidekick Strategies. In this here video, I'll show you how the They Ask You Answer method can transform your marketing efforts and help you connect with your customers on a whole new level. Listen, you don't want to miss this. Hey, you know what time it is. First, before we dig in, I want to share a personal story with you why They Ask You Answer is so important to me and why I believe in it so much. You see, I was sitting at my house in 2014 and I got the phone call. That's right, the phone call from Marcus Sheridan. So I started to work at what was the sales line and now has been acquired and is part of Impact Brand Design. But at that point, there was no They Ask You Answer book. Marcus Sheridan was out doing workshops, teaching people about content, and I was on the other side teaching them about HubSpot and measuring and marketing and tying They Ask You Answer into inbound methodology and HubSpot tactics and strategies. And then the book arrived, but we had already seen the success with the clients we had been helping, and so it's tried and true. It's proven. Now, that's enough of my story. So what exactly is They Ask You Answer? Let's dig into it. Well, They Ask You Answer is a philosophy that flips traditional content creation on its head. Instead of publishing out content that our audiences might like, we start by listening to their actual questions. Yes, you heard me right. We're good humans and we listen to the questions our prospects and customers are already asking and then simply provide them with honest, straightforward, unbiased answers. This approach is about being transparent, building trust, and positioning yourself as the go-to expert in whatever field it is that you're in. Let's break it down with a real-world example for you. Imagine you run a pool installation company. That is where They Ask You Answer was birthed out of the company River Pools and Spas, so it makes for a good example. But let's move on. A potential customer visits your website and they're wondering, how much does a fiberglass pool cost? Instead of dodging this question or giving a vague answer, you create content, a blog article, video that directly addresses this concern, aka this question. You explain the costs involved and the factors that affect pricing and even compare it with other types of pools that they might be looking at. By doing this, you're not just providing value, you're earning their trust and positioning yourself as an authority. The roots of They Ask You Answer can be traced back to my historical boss and mentor, Marcus Sheridan, who saved his struggling pool business during the 2008 recession by adopting and creating this exact strategy, which then we taught all over the world to many clients. You see, Marcus realized that by addressing the concerns and questions of his potential customers, he could build a relationship based on trust and transparency. This simple yet powerful shift turned his business around, River Pools and Spas, and today it's a core principle of successful inbound and content marketing. Now, you might be wondering, how do you implement this They Ask You Answer approach? The easy answer is to get the book. Read it and activate your company's commitment to the philosophy. But let's dig in a little bit deeper right here in this video. You see, it starts with understanding your audience's needs and concerns. This means engaging with them, listening to their questions during sales calls, customer service interactions, and even monitoring what they're asking on social media or forums. Once you have a list of these questions, your next step is to create content that answers the questions in detail. But it's not just about answering questions for the sake of creating content to answer the questions. You see, the quality and honesty of your answers, well, they matter. So be transparent. If a product or service has downsides, don't hesitate to mention them. This honesty builds credibility and trust, which are essential for long-term relationships with your audience. And that's what you should be striving for. So let's talk about some key benefits of this approach. First and foremost, it builds trust when you answer your audience's questions openly and honestly. You see, you demonstrate that you understand their needs and are there to help. In other words, they are seen and heard. This trust is crucial because it can significantly shorten the sales cycle. Educated prospects make faster decisions, and since they are already trust you, they're more likely to choose your product or service. In other words, choose you for the thing they need. Secondly, it positions you as an industry authority by consistently providing valuable information, good stuff into the world. You become the go-to resource in your field. This not only attracts more traffic to your website, but also increases your chances of being shared and recommended, and amplifies the conversations that you're going to have that usually equal cash flow. But the point is, we can't forget about SEO. When you create content that directly answers the questions people are searching for, you naturally improve your search engine rankings. Search engines like Google prioritize content that provides clear, useful answers to user queries. So by adopting the they ask you answer approach, you're also boosting your visibility online. So how do you actually get started? Well, here are a few steps that you can take. Identify common questions. Start by gathering the most common questions your prospects and customers ask. How you might ask? Look at your email correspondence, sales calls, customer service interactions, and social media engagements. Create honest, detailed content. Develop content that answers these questions thoroughly. This can be in the form of blog posts, videos, podcasts, or even infographics if you want to get the crayons out and design for a little bit. The key is to be honest and detailed in the responses to the questions. Obviously, optimize search engines. Make sure your content is optimized for search engines. Use relevant keywords, include clear headings, and ensure your content is easy to read and navigate. But while optimizing for search, make sure you're optimizing for the searcher. Then you'll want to promote your content. Share your content across various platforms. Use social media, email newsletters, and other marketing channels to reach a wider audience. Then after that, it's about measure and refine. Track the performance of your content. Please, by all that is holy, track the performance of your content. You need to share those success stories. Use analytics to see what's working and what's not. Based on this data, refine your strategy to continually improve your future results. Remember, the they ask you answer approach is not a one-time effort. It's an ongoing process of listening, creating, and engaging with your audience. The more you invest in understanding and addressing their needs, the stronger your relationship will become. And maybe the fatter your wallet will too. But anyway, they ask you answer is a powerful approach that can transform your inbound marketing strategy. By focusing on your audience's questions during the content creation process, you can build trust, establish authority, and drive more qualified leads to those sales teams. And then they're going to love you. So start listening to your customers' questions and letting them guide your content. You'll be amazed at the difference it can make. If you found this video helpful, check out our full They Ask You Answer inbound guide below. If you have any questions or need more insights, you know where to find me, right here at Sidekick Strategies. So until next time, remember to be a happy, helpful, humble human. And don't forget to do some happy HubSpotting along the way.